Hi, everyone, and welcome to IC Stories 51, where we will be talking about the epic cross chain swap bridge called APPIC DAO. Sobrang exciting po na episode natin ngayon because we have two of their team members with us ready to answer all of our questions. And you know the drill, meron akong mga nakaprepare na questions and pipili din tayo ng community questions. So make sure to listen in and prepare nyo yung mga questions na yan kasi yung mga mapipili po natin, not only will you be able to directly converse with the core team members, but also meron tayong mga ICP rewards, of course. But before we go on ahead, maraming salamat po to everyone tuning in. Whether you're watching this live or team replay, let us know in the comments. But yeah, let me go ahead and say hi sa mga nanonood sa atin live. Strika, thank you so much. Sabi niya, this is going to be cool. Can't wait. So excited for this episode as well. Scout Martin, of course, nagpa-attendance check na nga. Ayan, sabi niya, class attendance check, always late, but in IC Stories Manila, always first in attendance. Totoo yan. Mas mahalaga na dito ka present. No, I'm kidding. But thank you so much, Scout Martin. We appreciate your support. Tari Maya, hello. Guys, Shine Nova, Beautiful Girl, Liz, Dollar Hunter. Maraming salamat. Sobrang dami nag-hello. Thank you so much, everyone. Who else is here? Ayan. What's good, ICB of Philippines? Everything is great. In fact, dahil nga po meron tayong exciting guests for today. Pero wag na nating pahabain pa. So make sure you are very much comfortable, whether nakaupo kayo sa couch, listening in while having your dinner. You're very much welcome. Please join in our exciting and very engaging conversation. Help me give a warm Filipino welcome our guests for tonight, Vibor of APPIC DAO and their technical lead, Jeff. Hi guys, how are you?
Kumusta?
Oh, not you pulling out the
Hello.
Filipino
Hey.
term. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm living in Dubai, right? So I'm surrounded by beautiful Filipino people, right? So definitely.
That's
Hey.
awesome to hear. Hi, have you been to the Philippines?
Not yet, but I definitely want to be. Jeff,
Jeff,
you're
you're
tilted.
upside
Yeah, I
down.
have to take my turn.
Yeah, the first one
Probably.
was,
Yeah, it's just not gonna work.
yeah, this works. This
Much
works.
better. Yes.
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 Oh, you
My
haven't been to the Philippines yet.
Not yet. Hopefully, very soon, because we have some plan to, travel to Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, and pretty much all the Southeast Asian countries to also
The
check with
Asia
the
tour.
hubs. Yes,
Oh, you
so very
guys are
excited.
very much welcome here. You have a space with ICP Hub Philippines for sure.
Salamat
All
po.
right. Oh, look at you. I mean, I'm always super impressed when guests make an effort to like really connect with us. We're off to a very strong start, but I want to learn more a little bit about yourselves. Tell me the story. How did you get into crypto, Web3, and eventually ICP and building Epic DAO? Maybe we
Sure.
can start with you, Vibor.
Sure. So, interestingly, in my case, I started my first investment in crypto was in 2014,
Mm.
and
Ooh.
yeah. So I bought my first Bitcoin in 2014 in Zurich through ATM machine in Zurich, and
Oh.
yeah, that was long back. Um,
Do you still
I,
have it, or have you taken some of that profit?
No, I have not. I've just been accumulating since then. Very
Awesome.
happy about it. The first time when I got it, I think it was in the range of 250 or $300 or so.
Oof.
So
Wow.
so that was Bitcoin, and then late 2014, early 2015 is when I got in touch with the Ethereum team. So
Mm.
ended up becoming the Ethereum ambassador for the Middle East region. So used to bring in a lot of people from the Ethereum Foundation doing the conferences, events, and all that. Unfortunately, couldn't meet with Vitalik at that point of time. Ended up
Mm.
meeting with him later on in Dubai. So yeah, I mean, I was just fortunate with that.
Mm.
So yeah, 2014 is sort of when it all started. I mean, come to think of it, it's been close to 10 years now. So yeah. um,
Wow. An OG in this space. I have a few more questions in a bit, but Jeff, tell us your story. How'd you get into the rabbit hole of Web3? I think
You're
you're
on mute,
muted.
man.
There we
Yes.
go.
Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, thank you for reminding me that I was on mute. So, Web3 is such an amazing place. So I started my journey
Mhm.
with like becoming a really normal developer back then when I was 14 or something. By the way, I'm 20 now.
14. Wow.
Yeah,
Start them
exactly.
young. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
so I think it was like around 2020 or something that I got to know
Mhm.
about Web3, and at that point I was working in like a website that was like a educational website that users
Mhm.
could come and like buy courses and these kind of things. And the website got hacked,
Oh.
fortunately, and a lot of funds were stolen. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
a lot of funds
no.
were stolen, but yeah, but it's fine. So at that time, I was like searching for something to just like ensure the security, be
Mhm.
completely unhackable without any security vulnerabilities. And at that, well, that was the moment I got to know what blockchains and Web3 and these kind of things. So
Mhm.
I started working full time on Web3 when I was like, so like at 2021 with Vibor. And
Mhm.
from that point up to now, we have been working together like on a regular basis without any hesitation and stuff and these kind of things. So that's the story.
Very and interesting, it's so different, but it's nice to see how your paths converged and now you're building this big thing on ICP that I really want to hear about. Can you tell me the story of how APPIC DAO started and what is it exactly?
Yeah,
Sure.
that again,
So,
uh,
how it actually started is, as Jeff already mentioned that, we started working on in crypto space together in 2021.
Mhm.
So interestingly, we actually got in touch through the ICP original Telegram group, which used to be
Oh.
called Definity at that point of time, and they sort of
Uh-huh.
decommissioned it, and then they came up with new groups like NNS and
Mhm.
all that, mission control and all those different groups. So that's when I actually got in touch with Jeff, and that's when we started sort of exploring ICP. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, since 2021 till now, till mid of 2023, we were basically building on Ethereum. So we had done several integrations for Ethereum, Polygon, Binance, and some of the layer two as well, Optimism, Arbitrum, and all those. So we actually ended up creating a DeFi aggregator, and
Mm.
mid
Mm.
mid of 2021, 2023 is actually is when we stumbled upon ICP again, when we started hearing about the chain key technology and how they're doing things. Of
Mhm.
course, I mean, we had to understand more about that. What we did is, um, during that time, the ICP team was also traveling to Dubai, and through ICP
Yeah.
Hub UAE, I got the opportunity to meet with Lomesh and rest of the guys from the team as well. So we ended up applying for the grant to
Mhm.
build a feature, and that feature is live now. So we got our first grant in the last quarter of 2023, the developer grant from Definity, and that was for auto investment. Now,
Mhm.
basically, auto investment is your dollar cost averaging. What it means is, as a user, if you want to, let's say, buy CKBTC, CKETH, or ICP on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, let's say 10, 12, $20 on a daily basis, you can just simply automate that, connect your ICP wallet, and through
Mhm.
CKUSDC, you just keep on doing those transactions. It automatically keeps buying it, regardless
Mhm.
of the price of the token. And
Mhm.
this has proven to be the most successful strategy, the passive investment across
Yeah.
different types of strategies. So we did that. However, we released the feature somewhere around mid of March. And during this time, while our research, we also got to know that one of the bigger challenges within the ICP space was the liquidity, right? So there was
Mm.
lot of challenges around liquidity. Let's say if someone wanted to buy 100,000, $200,000 worth of any of the tokens, there was no liquidity across any of the dexes.
Mm.
And that's when we actually decided that, hey, maybe we need to figure out a way to create a cross-chain swap or an interoperable bridge that allows you to transact with other blockchains. So,
Mm.
again, without getting into too much details and making it very technical, I'll say it in a very simple manner. Let's say you have tokens on your Ethereum wallet and you want to
Mm.
transfer that to ICP through our platform. You can just simply do that. What it means is,
Oh
uh,
wow. I mean, that makes everything easier.
exactly, and with the ICP chain key technology, it sort of makes it very secure. It
Mm.
keeps it decentralized, and most importantly, it is completely on chain.
Mm.
um, because one of the challenges that blockchain space in general has faced in last several years is bridges getting hacked, right? A
Mm.
lot of
Yeah.
bridges in between, they get hacked, and you end up losing millions and millions of dollars of assets. Now, one of the reasons it happens is, again, without getting too much into the technicalities, I'll try to explain it in a very simple manner. So let's say you have chain one and you have chain two. Now, in between, you create the bridge. When you create this bridge is actually not decentralized, and it is not on chain. So what happens is all the data actually goes into the bridge and ends
Mm.
up in their central server. These central
Mm.
servers are hosted by your Amazon and Azure, Microsoft, and these guys. And that's where it's easy for a hacker to just come and attack and sort of drain all the funds. Now, what we are
Mm.
actually doing is the in between bridge. Interestingly, we are using ICP as the bridge, and that's like
Wow.
next level thing. What it does is it makes it completely secure, it makes it
Mm.
completely decentralized, and most importantly, it's completely on chain. So basically, these two chains are actually coming together, and it's
Mm.
the whole transaction is happening on chain.
Mm.
So this is what we are
Makes
actually
sense.
doing. Yeah, and
Very interesting. Mhm.
yeah, what it also does is it opens up the doors for not just cross chain transactions. It opens up the doors for the DeFi services, your
Mhm.
staking options, your liquidity provision, your lending, borrowing. A lot of those things actually sort of open up. So
Mhm.
there are several of the projects who are working on integrating, let's say, with Bitcoin or Ethereum and all of that, right? So what we are
Mhm.
doing is we are actually sitting on top of those projects within the ICP space as well. So interestingly, what's
Mhm.
going to happen is our APPIC will become sort of an infrastructure layer sitting on top of that. And for the normal
Mhm.
user, instead of going on to 10, 12 different places, they just come to our platform, and from there, it becomes like an aggregated solution provider.
Yeah. It's secure and it sounds very again, you're just making the lives of everyone easier and it's just more efficient. Now, Jeff, how do you come about that was a very good explanation for someone like me who's not really technical, right? Like you explained it to a T. It was amazing to hear. But Jeff, with something so it sounds easy, right? And it sounds like a no-brainer, but obviously this is something that um hasn't been really done before, I think. So Jeff, from a technical standpoint, how was building this, what was your experience like building this kind of security measure on ICP? How did you utilize its
That
superpowers?
Yeah, nice. So uh, if I want to get a little bit technical, that's not like frustrating for everyone, and try to explain it in a way
Don't
that
make it too
everyone can
hard.
understand.
Yeah, just a bit.
Should I?
Sprinkle some tech terms there.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah. So what we are using here is ICP, definitely, since ICP
Mhm.
is an amazing technology. And what was missing in previous blockchains was the ability to make calls to the outside of the blockchain. So imagine blockchains as silos. They are completely isolated. They are not communicating to each other. They are not communicating to outside of the blockchain. Everything is happening inside of the blockchain. But
Mhm.
ICP is the game changer thing. it has the ability to make calls to outside of the blockchain and bring data from outside world. It's not a silo anymore. So
Mhm.
as we were also mentioned and explained previously, we have bridges that are connecting two blockchains together, and in between these bridges are completely off-chain, not deployed on any blockchain, and they're like really easy to be hacked. So
Mhm.
what we are doing here, we are putting this bridge on a blockchain instead of on like a Amazon Web Server or like AWS or Azure. Like some
Mhm.
people like Jeff Bezos or these kind of people cannot control your fund. You know, like
Mhm.
Amazon Web
Yeah.
Servers are completely controlled by these
Mhm.
rich people. So uh, we are completely migrating all of the pieces into a blockchain, and
Mhm.
nothing is outside of the blockchain. And since blockchains are completely on like it's basically impossible to hack a blockchain. You know, if you want to hack a blockchain,
Mhm.
first of all,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not possible. And if you want to control a blockchain, you need 51% or more
Mhm.
uh, the nodes of that blockchain. So the other one is
Mhm.
also impossible. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good luck,
Mhm.
good luck for the hackers attacking our bridge. I mean, they basically like, yeah, exactly. Like they can steal the funds, but they first need to get control of 50% of the nodes. So yeah,
Mhm.
then then we can talk
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, yeah. So it's I think that truly boosts the confidence of people using APPIC DAO because that's such a huge issue. You want to make sure that your hard-earned money, your crypto, um, they're safe, right? And I'm glad that you guys are addressing that. So with our conversation, there are two main things that we've talked about, like two core features. The first one is the auto investing, right? And then the second one is the cross-chain swapping feature. Now, are there any other features that you could probably share with us? What else are you working on that maybe what are your current focus now?
Sure. So let me actually try to make it very simple, okay, so that everyone understands what our vision is and what we're trying to do, right? So
Mm,
when it comes to APIC, basically we have two pillars, right? Pillar one is our DeFi part, where you're
mm,
talking about your auto investment. We're talking about multi swapping. We're talking about lending, borrowing, staking, eventually perpetual trading and all those kind of things. So that's
oh.
the whole DeFi part. The second part is the infrastructure. So how it works is you have ICP at the bottom. Our
Mm,
infrastructure layer sits on top of that, and that infrastructure layer is called terminal. Okay, so it's called APPIC terminal. Now what this APPIC terminal does is it allows you to do cross-chain trading, it allows you to do swapping, it allows you to create bridges with other chains, it allows you to provide liquidity. A lot of that actually is for either projects or pro
mm,
traders, right? And those who
mm,
want to work and sort of provide liquidity and do these kind of activities. Now, for a normal user, all they have to think about is just the APPIC DeFi layer. That's it.
mm.
So
Yeah.
anyone and everyone who's actually entering to this, all they have to do is just simply looking at this. Let me try to explain it in a little different analogy, right? I mean, right
Mm,
now, pretty much everyone is aware about Uber, right? So
mm,
one part is, let's say you are just standing near a airport or near a mall and you need a ride. All you do is you just click on your mobile app, or you have Uber or a version of Uber for that particular region, right? And what it does, it
yeah.
connects you with different cab services, and you simply just use it and you go about it, right? So that's basically
Mm,
the DeFi layer. What we are doing is, through our DeFi layer, we are actually connecting with different DeFi providers. For example, right now we are in discussion with Water Neuron to integrate with their staking services. We are in discussion with Stake Geek to again integrate with their
mm,
staking services. We are also looking at some of the lending and borrowing service providers within the ICP space. So this is just part of
mm,
ICP space. What we are also doing in parallel is we are actually allowing the other chains to provide that. For example, your Yearn Finance, Aave, Compound, Balancer, and all that. We're just going to integrate with all of that and offer that from one place. So in the end, that's going to be your one-stop shop to do any kind of DeFi services. Now,
wow.
underlining that is basically our infrastructure layer, the terminal that we talked about. And this is similar to
Mhm.
your cabs and their garages, and the overall services stations and all those kind of things, which a normal user doesn't have to even worry about. This is something that
Yeah.
is separate, right? So it's more like
Mhm.
that actually.
That's again, you're so great at explaining it. Um, so I feel that with projects in Web3, usually the product speaks for itself, right? If you create a solid product, the user base usually follows. But a huge part of that as well is we can't discount the community aspect of it, and the impact of the community to its market impact, right? Or to the market impact. So how do you plan on engaging with and growing your user base?
All right. So, a couple of things that I again, want to touch upon in that is, because as part of the ICP ecosystem, pretty much everyone keeps asking, when SNS. So,
Yeah.
let me try to answer this question from that point of view. So once we actually started
Mm.
building our solution, and this is what we actually believe, one of the reasons the adoption is also getting sort of delayed or difficult for users is because of the user interface itself. Unless our uncles and aunties are able to grab the idea of how it works, we probably would need some time to work on these things. And that's why our emphasis is on the
Yeah.
interface. And you can probably check that by our existing feature, which is live. It's on app.appic.solutions. So you can go
Mm.
there and check the auto investment feature. It's very clean, straightforward. Again, I don't want to congratulate Jeff too much on that. He'll start showing it off. But yeah, I mean, he's actually done a very, very good job with that. Now, coming back from that to the SNS part,
Uh-huh.
one thing that we are very, very sure and committed about is we won't go for the SNS unless we have a working prototype for all the features that we are talking about. Because we want the community to actually see, feel, and give us the feedback on that. And that's why we
Mhm.
want to make sure, and we have taken this feedback based on the last 6 to 8 months of SNS projects that have
Mhm.
gone there. And pretty much everyone has actually complained about this. Hey, how come you don't have a working prototype and you're asking for this much of money and this and that?
Yeah.
Because they are not probably able to
Mhm.
relate with the vision. So coming back to the point,
Mm.
we want to make sure we have a working prototype, and then only we go for the SNS. Now, related to the working prototype, coming to the next point is beta
Mhm.
testing. Now, to engage the
Mhm.
community, what we have done is we have actually done something very interesting, which I had at least not seen in the space yet. So what I did
Mhm.
is I ended up reaching out to pretty much all the ICP hubs and all the key opinion leaders, as well as some of the top projects. And I just told them, listen, we are running a beta testing program, and in that beta testing program we are ready to offer a number of seats for your ardent followers, your very, very
Oh,
loyal followers.
cool.
And then maybe you can identify some of those people, and then you can help us with that. And surprisingly, it has been very overwhelming, and pretty much everyone is just jumping onto that, helping. It's more because they're not getting anything out of it, right? They're not getting anything in return, but the kind of support and collaboration that's going on, it's amazing. Of course, to touch upon that beta testing program, it's a very straightforward program we are doing. Step one, come and join our Discord. And in the Discord, in the coming week or so, we will be actually announcing the beta testing program. What we're gonna
Mhm.
actually do in that is, as users, once you get selected, you just simply have to do some number of transactions on our platform, and most importantly, give us the feedback on that and say that, okay, this is working fine, this is not working fine, I like it, I don't like it, or you guys suck, or whatever. And then just let us
No
know so that we learn
filter.
from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
that's what we require, right?
Uh-huh.
In return, these beta testers are each gonna get $250 worth of APPIC token at the successful SNS swap. And some of these beta testers will get promoted to become our ambassador. And in that case, they'll get further
Wow.
$1,000 each of
Yeah.
APPIC tokens. Not
That's
only that,
awesome.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we actually plan to provide the NFT exclusively for these people, which allows them to have exclusive feature and access even after the SNS. So it's not just about engaging them or giving them a perk about these many dollars or this and that APPIC tokens or what. That's one part of it. We want
Mm-hmm.
them to be with us for a long time, and what we're gonna do is give them exclusive NFTs. So the top beta testers and the ambassadors, and this could be for few years, or this could be for life. I mean, they have those exclusive rights,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to make
Yeah.
sure that they have that. Um, Another thing I quickly want to touch upon is also related to the token, right? The tokenomics. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
ICP has a best practice or sort of a template that you need to follow to offer the tokens to the community.
Yeah.
But another thing that we have noticed is in majority of these cases, the token itself is just used for governance or just for voting,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for
Mm-hmm.
example, if I'm putting some my hard earned ICP in that, all I get to do is just vote yes or no, but beyond that I don't have much of a say. what i
Mm-hmm.
what we want to do with this project is not just have the governance, but a proper actual utility of a token. And when I say
Mm-hmm.
that, what I mean is you actually get to use our token, and you get discounts, and discounts on trading fees. You get exclusive rights for different features, something like
Mm-hmm.
what Binance has as a utility, or Uniswap has as a utility. And
Mm-hmm.
not just using it as a token, right? To say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Adding more again utilities to it, I feel that's a very smart idea, and I think I'm still trying to process how you guys are engaging the community, because I feel like, providing beta testing is amazing, but hearing that not only are you incentivizing them by giving them the tokens, but you're asking them to not just be community members, but to be partners essentially. Because again, the long term vision of having that exclusivity for them and early access to features, I think that's very interesting. And I'm also very glad that you are doing these AMAs and making sure everyone knows. Now, I feel like everyone in the comments would love to participate in that, and maybe we can figure something out. And
definitely.
for those who are interested, maybe we can give like a very specific call to action in a bit. But yeah, I would like to maybe pick your brain apart as to what was the process in developing those incentives for the community members.
A lot of coffee and sleepless nights. I
A
mean,
lot of brainstorming. Yeah.
yes, yes. So I'll tell you, honestly, how it all started is, while working in our previous lives, working on the Ethereum space and all that, we have seen a lot of projects, doing a lot of things, and creating a lot of
Mm-hmm.
hype.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that it sort of pinched me was like, oh, come on, you're just giving them something, and these guys are just looking after that. The moment they get it, they're
Mm-hmm.
out of the your following list,
Yeah, they're
and
like, bye.
there's no, yeah, exactly, there's no
Mm-hmm.
engagement. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we were just thinking, there should be a better way to do that, right? And once
Mm-hmm.
we entered in this space as well, I mean, honestly, we were completely lost, and we are like, okay, we don't know anyone, pretty much anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we started reaching out to people. I just simply, as simple as that, I just messaged you and said, hey Julian, listen, I'm doing this, I don't know how to go about it, what do you think about it? Some of them would
Mm-hmm.
respond, some of them would not respond, but
Mm-hmm.
eventually all of them end up reaching out to us, because they hear that
Yeah.
other people are actually doing it. So we
Mm-hmm.
started with this with ICP hubs. Similarly, we started this with the projects as well. So first of all,
Mm-hmm.
the new projects who were just starting with us, they started responding, and eventually the big projects, the well established, with the successful SNS, they started coming and said, hey, yeah, we have heard about you, okay, let's see what we can do together and all. So
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I know you name dropped some of the people or the projects that you're working with and how you're working with them, but I want to give that its own spotlight. Like, are there any or what kind of partnerships are you exploring to enhance what you're building? Are there any? Again, you mentioned some of them, but maybe you could retell us in a very specific manner as to how you're going to be incorporating or working with them.
All right. So again, let me try using my hands like an Italian. So we have three things, right? The
Yeah.
bottom layer is basically the infrastructure layer, right? And that means that we
Mm.
have to do a lot of integration. These integrations are with your dexes like Sonic, IC Swap,
Mm.
and Lighthouse, and all these guys. So of course we are doing that at this level, right? Then we have
Mm.
the second level, which is the DeFi level, right? The DeFi layer.
Mm.
What we're doing with that one is we are actually again integrating with projects like Water Neuron and State Geek
Mm.
to offer the DeFi services. But there is an underlining layer where we have to utilize some of the services like Bitfinity, Omnity,
Yeah.
BitOmni, and all these guys. So interestingly, we are actually integrating with them as well. And
Wow.
that
That's
information.
exciting.
For example, BitOmni for the Bitcoin one,
Yeah.
Omnity is another again, for the runes and all that. Then with
Mhm.
Bitfinity for the EVM space and all. So that's the two part. Now the top one
Mhm.
is what we are also doing is we are working with some of the projects like Yuko and Bionic and Tonic and all these guys to offer the NFTs to the users and
Mhm.
utilize their ecosystem for the promotional activity as well, right? So for example,
Mhm.
Viral is one of those, which was hot and not. And then
Yeah.
some of these guys eventually reaching out to some of the bigger names as well. Gold Dow probably would be one of those. And
Mm.
Origin and all that. So we would like to of course partner with those as well.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
idea is
for
to
sure.
just sort of capitalize on all of that and eventually move in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's always really exciting to hear projects working together, ICP projects actually working together and making sure that, not only do they win, but also the other projects, who are building in the space. And for sure, with so many projects being involved with ICP, for sure, there are a lot more partnerships in the future. And I'm very excited for that as well. So now I want to hear a year from now, 2025, how do you think APPIC DAO would look like? What is in the roadmap?
All right, very interesting question. And Jeff and I, we end up having a lot of so I don't want to call it fights. It's more like arguments and challenges around that. And he's like, "No, come on, we're not this," and I'm like, "Come on, we have to do that, right?" So we end up having those. But on a serious note, one thing that we have also done is we have very thoroughly studied the ICP's 4-year roadmap and made sure that we actually
Oh.
align with that, because we want to make sure
Mm,
that whatever they are offering, we don't end up sort of stepping on that. So it's
yeah.
like like a big brother. I'm like, okay, we're just in this lane, but we need your guidance and all, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Having said that, our plan is, as I said, is this. In about a couple of
Mm,
weeks, we go with the beta testing. Then we also go for the prototype, and then
mm,
eventually, in about 3 months, we plan to go for the SNS. And after the SNS, and because as you probably would understand by now, that our project is not just limited to ICP, it needs
yeah.
to actually go out and make a lot of noise in other blockchains as well.
Mm,
What we would also like to focus on, and we would do is partner with other blockchains, and also
mm.
get listed on the centralized exchanges of those blockchains, so
Oh,
that we sort of
exciting.
have the exposure, right?
Yeah.
We have that. The next step is of course building these kind of functionalities. um,
Mm,
and then apart from these cross chain swapping and all that we have also talked about,
mm,
the next thing what we also want to do is create sort of a bridge maker. Now what it means is any project, let's say, that is building on some other chain, would actually
mm,
be able to expand and offer those tokens on ICP directly, or any other
mm,
chain as well. So let's say, let me give an example. Let's say Aave. You have Aave
mm,
on Ethereum. Now, if Aave wants to expand and sort of offer the Aave token, they don't need to necessarily wrap it on their own.
Yeah.
We have the wrapped Aave and wrapped all this and that
Mhm.
token, right? They would simply, come and connect and use our platform, and without any coding, can automate the process and offer, let's say, Aave on Binance or on Solana or any of those as well.
That's
So we
exciting. It just opens up the world for everyone. Again, it's so easy. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I got too excited.
yeah, and it's all thanks to ICP's chain link and sorry, chain key and chain fusion technology, right? I mean, all the HTTPS calls and all that they allow, which of course I won't get into the details, but it is very exciting. And what we want to do is, eventually by the end of this year we start doing these kind of partnerships, and eventually by next year start offering a lot of those services, not just on ICP and from ICP to those, but across different EVM chains as well. What it means is, you would be using Ethereum or Solana or Polygon or any of that, and interacting with each other, utilizing ICP as the intermediary layer without even
Mhm.
realizing that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel like with other projects they're so into, I mean, Web3 tech is very impressive. Blockchain is impressive. ICP even more so impressive. So what they tend to do is lean on that technicality aspect of it. Like I always say this as an example, like the for credit cards, everybody, almost everyone uses credit cards, but we don't really know the back end of it. And frankly, we don't need to know, right? So I feel that focusing on how a product makes someone's life better and easier, and these transactions much simpler should be the focus, or should be the spotlight, right? And not necessarily on how it works, unless you are unless the conversation asks for it, right? So I feel like your strategic approach to it is amazing. It's on point and is what we need right now. It's very interesting how hearing how you envision the future of cross-chain transactions and DeFi through APPIC. Now we have a few community questions here. Let's start it with this one. So I think this is interesting. Um, Joe Star XC asks, how does APPIC DAO ensure compliance with the regulatory requirements for cross-chain token swaps across different jurisdictions? What does the legalities look like for a cross-chain swap thing?
Very, very smart question. So, thank you for that. Now, this actually also is one of the reasons why we decided to go with ICP, right? Because
Mm,
if you notice, and probably not a lot of community members actually know about this, but when you go for the listing on SNS, so basically SNS is in again simple terms, is just a official crowdfunding platform of ICP,
mhm.
where you can
Yeah.
actually go and list your project, that you invite people to invest in your project through ICP and all that. Now,
Mm,
what they have done is, so beautifully, they have actually made it compliant from the very beginning. So in order to
mhm.
actually even get listed on that, you have to follow certain rules, and you need to go through certain scrutiny. And because of that,
Yeah.
automatically a project getting listed on SNS gets compliant. And if you notice, and that's one thing that I'm actually really, really, really impressed by ICP is, you probably hear about Bitcoin, Ethereum, or even Solana, that, oh, whether it is it is a commodity or is it a security, and all those kind of,
Mm, yeah.
never hear something like that with ICP. And probably a lot of people don't realize this, or maybe they don't know about that. But I was one of the seed investors in ICP as well, right? So
Oh. Mm,
yes. So I bought it when it was less than $1 for us. Of
mhm.
course, through VCs. I
Yeah.
believe, I think 60 or 80 cents or something was the price. And then
Mm,
eventually it went up to
wow.
700 or whatever. But the
Mm,
reason I'm bringing that up is because when we did this, we actually had to follow the whole compliant process. It actually
mm,
happened after that on CoinList. Again, one of the most compliant and most
yeah.
strictest of the
Mhm.
platforms. And that sort of allows us to deal with this automatically. So it's in a way, dealing with the regulatory requirements takes care of it in itself by just just being on the SNS. And then of course,
I,
from that point onwards, because it's completely decentralized, and there's no because of its being decentralized, we are not touching any of the assets of the users at any point of time. So point
Mhm.
A to point B, from starting from connecting the wallet till the point you do the transaction and disconnect the wallet, at any point of time we don't touch the assets. So from that point of view as well, we are very, very compliant.
Mhm. Also, I think hearing from you that that huge chunk is being taken care of ICP is incredible. I feel like that's such a huge thing that you don't have to carry anymore, and now you could just really double down on building this, and also the relationships that you have with partners and your community. I think again that's great to hear. So thank you so much, Joe Stark, for sending that in. I think that's incredibly important to know. And the next one is, oh, I'm not sure if you guys heard, but in the Philippines, Binance was recently banned for not being compliant. So I feel like this is like a very relevant question, especially
Sure.
for our country now, or for those in the space. Okay, next one is from so hard to pick. Okay, this one is from Alex Vor. What are the main challenges in implementing cross-chain token swaps, and how are you addressing them?
All right.
Aside from having the bridge being not on chain before and being easily attacked.
All right. So, I mean, there are two ways to actually answer that. Let me ask Jeff. And oh no, I'm just opening a Pandora's box. Jeff, you want to answer? What are the challenges with this?
Definitely. So, like, one of the challenges that we have is making it as easy as possible for the end user to use it. So,
Hmm.
if you have noticed in ICP, we have reverse gas model, which
Yeah.
user doesn't have to care about the gas fees and the amount of gas they have to pay and these kind of things, and that's like really amazing. But
Hmm.
we are connecting a blockchain that in that blockchain users have to pay the gas fees, and to ICP, and in ICP the gas models are reversed. So
Hmm.
that's like a little bit confusing. For some parts, we are covering the gas fees. For some parts, user has to pay the
Hmm.
gas fees, and like we are trying to solve this challenge. And I think this is like one of the most important parts that we are trying to address in a way that like nobody even feels what is happening behind the scene, and they are not like really
Yeah.
confused or these kind of things. So for that, just to give you an example, for CKETH or CKUSDC, when you want to burn your CKUSDC to get real USDC
Hmm.
on Ethereum network, you also need to have some Ethereum, like CKETH. And that's like
Hmm.
really confusing. Like, what if I
Yeah.
only want to burn my CKUSDC to get USDC? Like, I don't want to deal with gas fees. Like, didn't you tell me, didn't ICP tell everybody that the gas model is reversed? But why do we have to pay gas fees again? Which is understandable
Hmm.
from the technology point of view, but from the user point of view, we would say it could be better.
Yeah.
And I think that's like one of the most challenges that we are dealing with. And
Hmm.
for that, we have designed a couple of prototypes that are like making it more efficient when it comes to gas fees and
Hmm.
way cheaper. But still, we need more time to do more testing on that and just to make sure that there are no backdoors or vulnerabilities in that. So
I mean, that sounds like such a difficult conundrum. Yeah, yeah, because again, it's the gas, how blockchains charge, or the gas fee differ, and I didn't even think about that. But yeah, yeah, that's very
yeah,
interesting. Excited
And
to hear
don't forget
about the
about the
solution.
wallets as well, right? I mean, these wallets actually talk in different languages as well, right? So you've
Oh
got
yeah,
MetaMask, you have got your internet identity, you have got Plug Wallet, and all that.
that's
Hopefully,
crazy.
OIC coming in soon probably would be solving that. Otherwise, we are also
Mm,
looking at an interface where we sort of connect both these wallets together in a seamless manner. So
mm,
I mean, there are definitely a lot of challenges. By the time it comes to the audience and the users, it looks very straightforward and simple. But
yeah,
behind the that
behind the
there's a
scenes.
lot, it's a
Do you
lot
know
going
that
on.
Do you know that meme of SpongeBob like front facing? He's like so serious, but like his mind is just like
Yeah,
chaos and fire.
Yes. Yes.
Jeff, looks like you're
definitely.
that's you, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a problem for you to carry. But yeah, very, very interesting. I didn't even think about that. So I'll be touching base with you guys for sure, and I'll be
Mm.
very, very interested in finding out what kind of solutions you'll be coming up with that one. But I'm for sure those are problems that can be solved, and yeah, a part of the problem or part of the growth. I mean, growing pains. So while that I have you,
Exactly.
Jeff. Yeah. Sorry. Do you still have something to say about this question or?
Like, I mean, if I want to cover all of them, probably the meeting is gonna take like
Oh
24
yeah,
or
it's gonna
48
be a different
hours.
AMA. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
but those are the main ones.
Yeah,
Uh
like,
huh.
uh,
Maybe I can just simply
yeah, like,
just send some of the screenshots that he keeps sending at 3 o'clock in
Oh
the
yeah,
night. And hey, Vibhor, what about this and what about that? I'm
exactly.
like, come on, man,
yeah, yeah,
go to sleep. Let's have four
Yeah,
hours of sleep.
yeah. 4 hours.
yeah, like
Dang.
if yeah, like if community is interested, I can also bring the other team members and we can have like lovely uh,
Yeah.
technical
Oh, you know
discussions
what?
here. And pretty sure,
Episode 52,
I'm
part two
pretty
of
sure
this.
everyone will enjoy.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the next episode would be still with APPIC DAO, but like a rant session of all the
Yes.
problems that we need to solve, and like just do a brainstorming together, a brainstorming session together. I can
Well,
imagine
actually, they can
building
just simply
something
join
that's.
our Discord, right? I mean, we do have these kind of discussions there as
Oh, do
well,
you guys
right?
do that?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
of
how
course.
fun!
We have
I have.
different channels. One for the memes, one for the feature request, one for
Yeah,
just general discussion and all that. So people can always come and complain about things. And
interesting. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, we'll do that for sure. A full on just ranting brainstorming session. I can't
yeah.
imagine building something of this scale because I would be so immersed like the way Jeff is like maybe you are trying to sleep and then oh how about this thing, what about that thing,
Let me
Vibber, I'm sure you
let
do
me
that as
let
well
me actually
while
give
you're
you an
in the
example of
shower.
that, right? Let me give you
Yeah.
an example of that.
Oh
So
yes, please.
about 2 weeks ago, Jeff finished reviewing the Minter canister, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, sounding so cute, right? Minter canister.
uh, yeah.
Do you know how many lines of codes? 120,000 lines of codes.
Oh my god, no,
Yeah.
how long did you make that?
And this guy was just going crazy after that, and he was sending screenshots of the codes that he has done. And there are times
Uh-huh.
when he has actually done close to 8 hours of continuous coding. And when I say
Oh.
8 hours of continuous coding, that means he's not even taking a single minute of break. And I'm like, man, you're gonna explode. Don't do that. You know, we're not covering this by the medical insurance. Come on, like just
Yeah,
just shut down.
I bet if you were on a call and like the video chat was on, there'd be steam like
Yeah,
just
yeah,
going off of his head. Jeff, I can see it
Definitely.
now. I can see it. I mean,
Yeah,
dude, you're on fire.
yeah,
Like I think you're
I
literally on
am.
fire.
Yeah, definitely, exactly.
I
Yeah, but I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
I
go
also
ahead, go
took my
ahead.
break. Sorry, but like, I mean,
Um,
after all of that hard work, I also took my break. So I
you
traveled for
should.
3 days without even opening my laptop. So it was like really amazing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Nah, not
Yeah.
true, not true. I mean, he's traveling and he tells me, "Hey, Vibor, by the way, I'm not in this country. I'm in this country right now. Let's get on a call." I'm like, "Listen, man, you're taking a break. Don't even message me. Just go.
Yeah.
Just stay away
Wow,
from
we
me."
love to hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, he says he doesn't open his laptop, but maybe he's working on his iPad or through his
Yeah,
phone,
yeah,
right? That's
yeah.
yeah. Well, Jeff, here's
Yeah.
another question from you by Samuel Jams. How does APPIC DAO ensure interoperability between different blockchain networks, and what are the technical prerequisites for a network to be integrated? Go ahead, geek out. I probably won't understand it, but I'll pretend to enjoy the answer.
Yeah. So yes, I think I've already explained it, but I will just like get a little bit into more details. So
Mhm, yes, please.
uh, exactly, like we have HTTP outcomes from ICP, and we also have like RPC providers from other blockchains. Like they are basically just providing data, read and write access to other blockchains. And
Mm-hmm.
we're like, okay, we can make HTTP outcomes to those RPC providers to read and write through those blockchains. So why not? Why not using that? That's basically like what we need for creating a bridge. Having the read and write access to a blockchain just allows us to create a bridge. If we can see if tokens are locked in that blockchain, then it's amazing. Then we can mint
Mm-hmm.
new tokens on the other blockchain. So
Mm-hmm.
how it works in a really simple way is we make calls from ICP to other blockchains, and we make sure that the data is correct there. If the data is correct there, we mint the wrap tokens or twin tokens or whatever on ICP. And for
Mm-hmm.
burning those twin tokens and unlocking the other tokens on the other blockchain, it works quite the same. We just have to send the transaction to the other blockchain through ICP, and ICP is the only blockchain that is capable of doing that. Like no other blockchain can do it. So
What a
that's
flex.
why
Am I right? Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And we didn't end up just building these bridges between ICP and EVM networks. What we are doing is we are utilizing
Mm-hmm.
ICP to create between EVM networks to EVM networks. Like they speak the same language,
Mm-hmm.
they have the same kind of a smart contract, but they still miss a part, and that part is kinda interacting to outside of the blockchain. And
Mm-hmm.
we are using ICP to create bridges between EVM chains. For example, if you have
Mm-hmm.
tokens on Polygon and if you want to convert them or like transfer them to Binance, you can use our product, which was built on ICP, to
That's so
convert or
helpful.
transfer your tokens from Binance to Polygon or vice versa or any other
Yeah.
network. So
That's
that's the flex for
so
ICP, as you also
helpful.
mentioned.
Yeah. I think that I recently I don't wanna give much details because it was a decent play, but there was this token that I was participating in, and then I needed to just I should have used APPIC DAO. I should have interviewed you guys like beforehand because this is exactly what I needed. And again, thanks for making it easy for us. I mean, just hearing you guys talk, I know this is like surface level even, but hearing you guys talk about this, and I can't even comprehend how crazy it must be behind the scenes. So, yeah, thanks for making our lives easier and yours harder,
Thank
basically.
you.
But
You're
yeah,
welcome.
thanks Samuel Jams for sending this in. Now you guys are starting the beta test, right? But you do have also, like you mentioned, we linked in the description. If they want to join your Discord, there are ample channels for them to just share feedback and tell you guys if you guys suck or there are things for improvement. But Joko No Counter said, what kind of feedback have you received from users about the cross chain swapping service? And how did you address or implement those concerns, if any?
Yep, sure. So we're still collating all the feedback that we are receiving from people, and majority of the time, it's more around the features and how we're going to build that and all that. I believe one of the things that we really need to focus on, and that is making sure it's a very straightforward process, because a lot of times the technologists and the inventors, they end up getting so involved in their technology, because of course it's their brainchild, and they sort of visualize all of that in their head. But it's equally important to sort of keep it very clean and simple from a user interface point of view, just a couple of clicks and they understand what exactly they're trying to do. Because see, here we're talking about swapping of different tokens, not just on the same chain but on cross chain, and then talking about bringing liquidity. We're talking about creating new tokens and creating twin tokens, and on top of that talking about staking and lending and borrowing and these
Mm,
different types of further advanced trading features. It's
mm,
very important for us to sort of graduate our users
mm.
to start with the first phase and eventually allow them to move to the next one. So this is why
Yeah.
we want to sort of make sure that we have that kind of UI.
Mm,
Visually, yes, we have been able to do that till now, but as it's getting uh, deeper and more complex, it's getting difficult for us to sort of contain it in that. So just trying to figure out different ways, taking feedback from community.
mm,
Interestingly, one of the one of the polls that we actually recently were planning to do is, so that the company domain is called APPIC.solutions, and from
Mhm.
that we are actually even exploring to change it from to APPICDAO.com or
Mhm.
APPICSwap.com or something like that, to make sure that
Oh.
user actually have the ease around that.
Oh, I love that. I love the attention to detail, and again, everything you do is so strategic and thoughtful of the community, and it shows for the product as well. Because at the end of the day, if they're not happy about what you're building, who's gonna use it, right? Or if there's no proper need for it, or it's not tweaked in a way that the community needs it for or needs it now. So that's very interesting. Now, here, I feel this is the best question to end our conversation with. So Deathpool sent this one. How does APPIC DAO's cross-chain swapping service contribute to the overall growth and adoption of decentralized finance? Because that's the goal, right? Aside from building, something this amazing, you also want to push the boundaries of the tech that we have now. So, yeah, what is the impact that you want to leave in the adoption of DeFi?
Sure. I mean, this again, as you said, is a very, very simple and very important. It's a most powerful question that you can actually ask. And to answer that, I'll tell you how it actually started, right? So when we started with the auto investment functionality, the whole
Mhm.
core reason behind that was to actually simplify it for normal users, right? I mean, we hear about
Mhm.
all these YouTubers, we talk about, hey, this is the new alpha, and get this and get that, and
Yeah.
talking about so much technology, and
Mm.
all of us are desperately waiting for Bitcoin halving, and
Mm.
what goes up is meme coins, Pepe and
Mm.
Doge and Whiff and all that, and everybody's in awe, like, hey, what happened? I mean,
Mhm.
everyone was taken aback by that, right?
Mhm.
Now, coming to the point, how does a normal user cope with all of that when they have no clue what's going on? I mean, right? And that is why
Mhm.
we said, what, instead of just buying and selling and trading and all these things and gambling around those, because remember, to trade and do all these kind of things, you got to be lucky twice, right? Once when you're
Yeah.
entering, once you're exiting. Nobody's
Mhm.
lucky these many times. Maybe once you'll be able,
Mhm.
not more than that. No, not twice. I mean, you have to be really, really, talented, or maybe just blessed. But
Mhm.
for less fortunate like us, probably just we need to put some hard work into that. Have a
Mhm.
simple strategic approach where on a daily, weekly, monthly basis you keep buying things like,
DCA. Yeah.
exactly, DCA, the dollar cost averaging, and auto investment, which is what we
Mhm.
created. When we started with that, that was just one part of it. Now the second thing we ended up doing on that is, hey, what if for example, on ICP, uh, any token has a different price and different liquidity on different dexes. On Sonic, if you want to buy, the cost is something different, the volume is
Mhm.
something different. On, let's say, on ICP swap, for any of the token, what we did is we said, what, let's just integrate with all of them. Let's create a simple dashboard for a user and give them the whole picture that, okay, here are the tokens, here's the cost, here's the difference, here's the volume. Choose which one you want to buy from where. This also
Mm.
pushes and challenges these dexes to actually sort of work on that and make sure that it's
Yeah.
all transparent. So that's another thing. Now, third thing that we are also working on right now is the multi swap functionality. What it basically means, it with a simple click, instead of buying one token against one, let's say CKBTC against ICP, what you can do is you can choose 5, 7, 10 of the tokens and just sell one token and buy all of them in a portion of percentage. So 20%
Oh.
CKBTC, 20% CKETH, 30% ICP, 30% maybe Ghost or any of those, just with one click. So
I'd
these are the
love
kind,
that.
yeah. So these are the kind of simplicity that is required for DeFi.
Mm.
Now, what it means for the overall growth and adoption of the decentralization. So when it comes to the the cross chain functionality, imagine we're just talking about the ICP space right now, right? And the moment we
Mhm.
actually open it with Ethereum, EVM, Bitcoin, as well as Solana, it's almost like
Mhm.
opening up your borders for for the international trades. The moment you
Yeah.
do, your country's GDP and the overall lifestyle, it changes completely, right? and that's what has happened since
Blows up.
2020,
Yeah.
right, to now.
Mm.
And this is when we do that, it completely allows you to have different level of liquidity, different solutions on top of that. And on top of that,
Mm.
existing players who are or are not, I mean, I don't know if they are complacent about whatever they have in space, they'll have to pull up their socks and start building and
Yeah.
actually, and not just copy paste the same code from somewhere else.
Mm. I mean, those are incredibly powerful answers. And again, I am just so excited for the beta test. I mean, from that alone, you guys are not gonna be sleeping for a while, I feel like. So before that, make sure to get some sleep. Tell Jeff. He left us already, so I hope he's sleeping. He's getting the rest he needs. No. But yeah, I think what you guys are building would truly be a disruptor. And again, you are so thoughtful and strategic. And based on all your answers, you always have the users in mind. And that's very crucial, I feel like. So, yeah, Vibber, thank you so much for answering all of our questions. There's still so many that we weren't able to answer. So, hopefully, you come back here after the beta and then we overanalyzed what happened, all the changes and all the just the consolidating all the feedback. And I'm so excited for what you guys are building, and I will be maybe the top user for it, because again, it sounds like you're gonna make just everything easier for whether they're beginner, intermediate, or even advanced users. So thank you so much for the work that you do. And maybe could you invite everyone to join your community? I have everything linked in the description for them.
Sure. Definitely. I mean, join our community. Go on our Twitter space. We have our Discord as well as Telegram link in there. You can simply join from there, or we have actually shared the unique links for different ICP hubs as well, so we can also keep track of who's joining and how many of them are joining, so that we are fair and transparent with them as well. So definitely, very excited, very grateful for all the time. It was probably one of the most interesting and exciting discussions we actually had till now. So I'm very impressed by your knowledge and your engagement as well. So thank you, Julian. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Likewise, I really enjoy the conversation and I hope to have many more convos with you and your team. Thank you so much, Faber.
Thank
Have a good day.
you too.
Bye.
Salamat.
Thank you.
Bye.
Salamat. Yes. Bye bye. Ayan. Maraming salamat po to everyone who sent in their questions. Grabe, ang daming nagsisend. At one point, parang siguro 2 minutes lang nakikinig lang ako sa mga kwento nila. Biglang 260 plus yung questions. So wow, maraming salamat. Miles Morales, thank you so much. Oh, okay. So they also have a Twitter space sa ICP Hub Germany and 50 minutes on X or their Twitter account. So please follow them. And if you want to participate in that again, and if you have more questions now we weren't able to answer, hop on there, say hi, and then tell them na, oh, you weren't able to answer this, maybe can you answer it now. So yeah, hopefully that was an interesting conversation for sure, and there are aspects na I feel na marami nating mako-cover pa after their beta testing. So if you're interested in that, let us know. We'll set it up. No, guguluhin natin sila to have them back here. Thank you again po sa mga nagsend in ng questions. Joe Starks, Joko No Counter, Samuel Jams, Deathpool, and Alex Vor. For you guys to claim your rewards, your ICP tokens, please message us on X. Give it a few days because our team is stretched a bit thin. Napakarami pong nangyayari, no? So, two of our members, our co-founders, Sir Nelson Lumbres, and our technical lead, Sir Elizer Rabadon, nasa Davao po sila ngayon for DevCon Davao at magkakaroon din tayo ng another hackathon, no? So many things happening. So, please be patient kapag nag-DM kayo sa Twitter, but we'll make sure to um, send those out for you guys. Maraming salamat po. Nanan Chan, thank you so much for dropping by. Eka, hello. Spitfire, nice seeing you. Maraming salamat. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed today's episode like I did. This is episode 51. Wow, ang goal natin is IC Stories episode 100 by the end of the year. We'll make that happen. So again, thank you very much everyone. I hope you enjoy your night, and sa mga team replay natin dyan, maraming salamat for tuning in. And again, don't forget to comment which part of the episode you most liked, and if there are other ICP projects that you want us to showcase. This has been your host, Modern Mulan or Julian, the growth lead of ICP Hub Philippines. Thank you, everyone. Bye.